first Hatchet Men video podcasting, God knows how long.
Yeah, and the 50th greatest drunk story ever told.
And that's 49 more than most people thought it would last.
Yes.
Right on. I am your host, Brian Salisbury, and with me on my left is
Jason Murphy.
Mr. Jason Murphy, and with me on my right is
My name's Hido.
Mr. Hido, which is not something you scream out when you're achieving the crane kick, but in fact, a human being.
Yeah.
Mr. Hido.
I am the original Karate Kid.
He is the original Karate Kid. So what we're going to be talking about tonight, since it's December and we are horror fanatics, is Christmas-themed horror movies. Gentlemen, I would love to know what your favorite Christmas-themed, how many beers have I had? Christmas-themed horror movies are, starting with Mr. Jason Murphy.
I'm going to go with Black Christmas, directed by Bob Clark. That actually is not only the greatest horror Christmas movie, but one of the greatest horror movies ever made.
True.
Bob Clark actually also directed The Christmas Story,
Yes.
which is legendary, of course. But it has an asthmatic, creepy perv stalking Margot Kidder and Olivia Hussey.
Yes.
And it is spooky as hell. And also Olivia Hussey, who's, you know, stunning. But yeah, it is it is the progenitor to the slasher movie.
Yeah.
So if you've seen Halloween, Friday the 13th, The Burning, The Final Terror, whatever, this movie, Black Christmas, is the seed that started all of those. So I highly recommend that you check that out. It is also A.J. Bowen's favorite horror movie. Indeed. So yeah. None of you know who A.J. Bowen is.
He's a friend of the show in that he's a friend of ours.
Yes, but we know who he is. Yeah, it's creepy, and for those of you that have seen, what's the movie? When a Stranger Calls.
Yes.
This trumps that.
Totally.
This trumps that in that you have a lot of really perverse, creepy prank calls.
Yes.
And you hear all of this
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is they're not just perverse, but like the killer is speaking in like 3 or 4 different languages
at the same time.
3 or 4 different voices as he's talking on the phone. And what the best part of the movie is that Margot Kidder, who plays one of the, he's calling a sorority house.
Yes, that Margot Kidder.
Yes, and Margot Kidder from the Superman movies, Lois Lane, plays the most vulgar of the sorority sisters. So when she gets that call, she's just like, "You fucking creep," and she hangs up. And
but she's also very aroused by it.
Yes, and it is a great movie. And in fact, what Murphy was saying about it being the progenitor of the slasher movies that you know, there was actually a famous interview with Bob Clark just before he died, may he rest in peace, in which somebody asked him, if you were going to do a sequel to Black Christmas, what would it be about? And he said, well, the guy in the first movie, I was going to make a movie about him going to an asylum and then breaking out on Halloween and coming back, and it was going to be called Halloween. So John Carpenter clearly liked that idea and made Halloween. So there you have it. Very great choice for best Christmas horror movie, best horror movie in general. Mr. Hido, tell us what your favorite Christmas horror movie is.
My favorite movie of all time, as far as the Christmas horror movie, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2.
Oh,
Whereas the first one was just as good, but the second one has so many great one-liners.
Yep.
Where you have like this guy, you know, it's almost like, you know, the one-liners where you have like Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Where it's like certain, you could just recite the lines over and over again.
Totally.
Yeah. This is like one of the first movies like me and my friends just sat around, just watched, and we just laughed just because of like the craziness, this sick, twisted one-liners and stuff like that. We just had a ball laughing. So
Yeah.
Story about a guy goes around just killing people just out of the blue. Just like he just goes out and gets crazy. He starts shooting people. On Christmas, yeah. And just like when he's shooting people, it's like bingo! Like you just take somebody down and stuff like that. Or you just like shoot a truck and like it flips over and goes, garbage day.
That was the great part. Is that Silent Night Deadly Night 2 was actually more or less a clip show. And all it did was show Silent Night Deadly Night 1 again.
Yeah, exactly.
But it showed one of the characters from the original movie who was a kid in the first movie.
Right, yeah.
All grown up and dealing with it.
Yeah.
And one of the great things about that movie is that he gets out and he just starts committing to these lines like you were saying, where you're like, really? A human being said that? One of the best ones, as I was saying, was garbage day.
Garbage day, yeah.
I love garbage day.
Yeah, me and my friends after that, we just go around just going, garbage day.
He walks up and down this neighborhood just killing people with a 6-shooter, and one of the people he kills is a garbage man. And it's literally just born of the fact that he sees a garbage man and goes, garbage day, and shoots him. But basically, if you like Silent Night Deadly Night 1, you'll love Silent Night Deadly Night 2 because 90% of that movie is just showing clips from Silent Night Deadly Night.
Exactly. So that's what I loved about that movie.
Great choice. Great choice for best Christmas horror movie. I'm actually going to go with Christmas Evil.
Of course you are.
It's a really shitty movie, don't get me wrong.
It's a very shitty.
However, it's about a guy that works at a toy factory by day, and at night he invades people's homes and slaughters them. But the greatest thing about this movie, it's a very cheap, very exploitation movie. In fact, I think it was picked up by Troma. In fact, they put it out on DVD. But the performance of the lead actor in the role of the Santa Claus killer is actually way better than that movie deserves. He is completely committed to that role, and in every step of the way, he really believes that he is an evil Santa Claus. And it's just such a great movie to watch because it is a really shitty Christmas horror movie, and yet the performance of the lead actor, whose name I'm completely blanking on because of this, is really committed and really adept and far better than anything that movie possibly deserves. But I will say that since it's the Christmas season, I would definitely recommend Black Christmas. I'd recommend Silent Night Deadly Night and Silent Night Deadly Night Part 2.
And is there something I want to add? One of the best shorts dealing with Christmas horror, Tree Veg.
This is true. Our friend Jason Eisner actually made Tree Veg.
Tree Veg, you gotta go see it. Christmas trees going amok, crazy, killing people and stuff like that. The best scene, tree stomping on a little baby.
You really haven't experienced the Christmas spirit until you see a Christmas tree sodomizing a man.
This is true. It's very much like the tree rape in Evil Dead on a more festive level.
Yes.
So yes, definitely Jason Eisner of Hobo with a Shotgun. It was one of his first short films, and it is really good. So thank you very much for bringing that up. I would also recommend highly Christmas Evil, and yeah. So if you're sitting around the tree with your family and you think that things are proceedings are very boring, I would highly recommend any of these 3 horror films. Gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for being on Hatchet Men, and thank you very much for playing.
And show Tree Veg to your family on Christmas Eve.
Indeed. They will love you for it.